What's going on, guys? Alex here. I basically want to give you guys a different type of video aside from the autocross videos and course guides I give you. Kind of give you guys an overview of what I do to the car, or just little things like that, just to kind of mix things up a bit. Today what I want to talk to you guys about was how I set up the tire pressures in the vehicle. Now, they might not sound like a big deal, but when it comes to motorsports, autocross, track days, even drag racing, things like that, tire pressures play a key role and making sure that you get the best performance out of your vehicle. So just as a disclaimer before I start, this is what I personally do for my vehicle. Every single car and setup is going to be different, even if you're front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, your suspension setup, how braced your car is, all that's going to be a factor when it comes to this. This is what I do, what I find works best for myself, and you can basically adopt this idea and just tweak it to whatever suits you the best. So basically what I'm going to show you guys is what I do to set up my tire pressures. So starting off, what I do first is I actually chalk my tires. So you can't really see it well on this one, it kind of got rubbed off with the toe straps on the truck and everything. But what you can see here, there's a mark here, there's a mark down here, and there was a mark here. And basically what you do is you take chalk, just regular, sidewalk chalk, doesn't have to be anything fancy, and you mark from the top of your tire here, and you just do a good line that goes into your sidewall, and you do that on several parts of the tire. Then you go out and you do a couple runs. After your run, you come back to grid and you take a look at how much of the chalk has actually scrubbed off your tire. And what you're aiming for is for the shoulder of the tire to be essentially scrubbed off, but you want to keep the sidewall with the chalk. What that means is that your contact patch of the tire is making full contact, whether you're in the turns or if you're on the straights. It just means that you're making full contact with the pavement, meaning you're getting the most grip out of the tire. That's going to help you get faster times, going to keep the car planted, going to make it feel a lot more stable at speed. As you can see in the back, I was struggling a little bit to get the pressures dialed in, and you can see that the marks are a lot more prevalent here. And as you see here, I still have a good bit left on the shoulder, which means that I actually could have lowered the pressures a little bit more to get more contact patch on the ground. And this part here is the shoulder. You can see you mark several spots just to make yourself sure that you're getting the right pressures in. So basically that's all trial and error. Definitely bring a tire pressure gauge to a track event, and also bring an air pump because you'll be adjusting it in between runs. So when it came to the actual pressures, I want to say, if I remember correctly, the fronts were about, I want to say 25, 26, and I had the rears at about 26. And I know what you're also saying, that sounds pretty low for a road car. Again, this was not driven on the road, it was driven on an autocross track. Tire pressures are totally different when you're racing. I think the door card in the car actually is like, I don't know, 35, 34 PSI. That's what the manufacturer recommends. That's for fuel economy, tire longevity, safety, for road use. This was an off-road situation, which means I was aiming more towards performance, making sure the car was planted at speed. When you lower your tire pressures down to 20, in the 20s, even down to like 10s or as low as you can get, you are wearing out the tire a lot more. That tire is flexing basically, and you're using a lot more of the tire. If you go too low, you can potentially damage the sidewall. So that's another thing to think about if you're using a daily driver and you're using your set of tires that you also drive on every day. That set of tires there, that's what I actually store the car on in between events. I still need to take these off. So that's a quick little tire tip I have for you, what I use on the vehicle. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about. I'm more than happy to throw that up.